Thank you very much, John. So my name is Ken Asakura, and I'm very jet-lagged. I flew in from San Francisco yesterday, yeah, I'm pretty tired. Can't wait for a beer, but I'm going to make this nice and quick, and hopefully it'll be a little bit entertaining. So I'm going to talk about pre-registration for mobile games. It's a service that we've been running for quite some time. And I'm going to start with a story. But before I do, can I have a show of hands who played games as a teenager here? All right, most people. I was expecting everyone. But, and of those people, how many of you guys remember talking about upcoming games or some game that was coming in the future with their friends as a teenager? Show of hands. Yeah, most people. So I was a teenager. I wanted more laugh, but so that's me in the red head. I was a teenager, and they weren't my geeky friends, but I had my geeky Asian friends, and I vividly remember talking about Final Fantasy V coming out. And, you know, it was awesome, just talking about Final Fantasy V. You know, we used to share around magazines, and yeah, we didn't have all the information, but we used to puzzle all the pieces together, and we used to just, day in, day out, would talk about Final Fantasy V, and that was fun. It was fun because it was all in imagination. And you don't know what the game is about, but, you know, all this job-changing system, active time battle, and you just talk about it with your imagination, and that's fun. Who here likes Star Wars? Yeah. And how many of you guys talked about Star Wars before Star Wars came out? Yeah, a lot of you guys. It's fun. Who here likes football, soccer? I might regret saying this, but I'm a Liverpool fan. Well, I regret saying it because we lost to Man United yesterday, but I'm a Liverpool fan, and, you know, 2 or 3 weeks before the Premier League season, it's fun to talk about the Premier League season. A new transfer, Benteke Firmino, how they're going to perform, that team with new manager, are they going to do well? And again, it's all about the imagination, so, you know, talking about things before they come out or that happens is really interesting. So I think movies, TV shows, sports, they do that really, really well, engaging audience before it comes out. But I don't think mobile games do it very well at all. When's the last time when there was like a big anticipation for a mobile game? Like, I can't even remember one. Maybe Candy Crush Soda, but that's because they spent like $10 million on PR. So I don't think mobile games engage their audience before launch very well, and that's why we started a service called Pre-Launch Me. So we've been beta testing, and we've been running for about 12 months now. And it's a pretty simple system. We feature upcoming game titles, and all the geeks come to our community and talk about upcoming games and pre-register for it. So just quickly about the service. So they come to our service, and firstly they discover about the game. So yeah, they just find like an app store thing and say this game comes out in a month, this game comes out in 2 months. Then they come and discuss about the games. So yeah, we have our in-app chat system that they can talk about their games, and they even start building guilds before the game comes out. So there's already engagement before the app release. And we can reward the users, just like the Google Play said they had that welcome pack. You can reward users for opting in for the title before it comes out. So, but we don't do any like Amazon gift card or Google Play gift cards. Most of the games in-app items. So it's useless unless they install your app. And finally, when the game comes out, we let them know. We alert them with an SMS or a push notification saying, hey, that game that you opted in is launched. Tap here, then we send them straight to Google Play Store. So that's our service in a nutshell. So what I want to talk about, what kind of users pre-register for apps. So firstly, this is in our service, we have a lot of dudes. Probably like same about in this room, like 90% men. And yeah, 7% are female, like everyone just, you know, really tries to sweet talk them, but they don't because they're all gamer geeks. They don't know how to talk to girls. But yeah, a lot of dudes in our system, and they're mostly aged between 18 and 34. But more importantly, do they spend money? I think that's what you guys want to know. So we conducted a survey, about 1,000 responses came, and we asked how much money you spend monthly on mobile games. And over 70% of our users said they spend some kind of money in mobile games. And it may not sound big, but if you can reach this many of mobile spenders, I think it's a pretty big, good pool. So a little bit more about our service. So this is the actual cohort analysis that one of our partners agreed to share. So as you can see, organic day 1 retention, or it says 2 there, is about 35%. After a week, it's about 14%. So pre-reg users that we drove, you see pre-marketing US. So the users we drove was significantly better than organic users. And after a week, we actually doubled in quality of user retention to the organic users. And as you can see, there's a bit more. So this is users that came from Facebook ads. And we surpassed them. So we're pretty happy in terms of that quality. And here is obviously incent or reward CPI. So obviously their retention rate is rubbish. So as you can see, guys who engage in your game before it comes out, they're very sticky. This is even juicier figure. And we really thank our partner Corum Games for allowing us to share this. So this is a game, action RPG called Swords of Chaos. We ran this promotion about last September, and we only ran about a week, but we will manage to get about 4,000 pre-registrars. And out of that 4,000 pre-registrars, about 2,000 installed the game. And out of them, they spent about 15K in the game within the first 7 days of launch. So they were really, really happy. They spent about 4K with us, but ROI was 400%. So what I spoke in the last few minutes, so the gamers who pre-register for games, they're dudes, they're aged between 18 and 35, and they monetize well. And why is the question. Is it just because that they were engaged before and they had guilds, or is it because you just rewarded them with the in-app currency? I think that we believe there's more to it. I think users who pre-register for games, they're innovators and early adopters. So these are the guys that they're really proud of the fact that they were the first to play. It's not like they got recommended from someone else, or it wasn't like this game was approved by someone, but they were happy and they were proud of the fact that they were the first people to play these games. And that's the sort of gamers that we can attract. And they're the sort of people that pre-register for new games. And they're the same guys that will line up 4 days to buy the new iPhone, or they're the same guys that lines up 5 hours to watch Star Wars before anyone else. They're the same guys that spends 10K on a 8K TV that no TVs or even Blu-ray are compatible to. But these are the guys that are so proud of the fact that they're willing to try new innovation and willing to try new technology. And most importantly, these guys are the guys that attract the majority. If you want to make the new Clash of Clans, you need to get these innovators and early adapters away from Clash of Clans and bring them up. And when they say that I approve this new game over Clash of Clans, then the majority are going to come. And I think the way that our industry is working now, obviously like the top 10, 20 games are taking the most revenue. I believe gamers, if you do want to be the next Game of War or the next Clash of Clans, you need to take these users away from those user pool, and they're going to bring the majority. So as I said, we've been running this service for about a year. The numbers are really good. The partners that we've worked with are all ecstatic about the performance. And we believe really strongly that engaging gamers before launch is very important, particularly now with the saturation. And that is it. Thank you very much. Time for question? No question?
We came to a sudden end. I wasn't ready. Any questions for Ken about pre-registration? Wait for the microphone. Wait for the microphone.
My name is Andreas Christensen from Mojo. How many users do you have in your database, and how do you source them?
We're not disclosing any user number, but the biggest we've got was about just over 20,000 pre-reg for Bleach. with Klab, and Klab girls, there she is. Yes, so we've got about 20,000 users, and usually like 40 to 60% of those users will install your game in the first 3 days of launch. And we buy from Facebook.